everyone. Welcome to October. It is Substance Abuse Awareness Month, and I want to introduce you to a book, Teen Substance Recovery, A Guide to Family Support. And with this book, I've done some research throughout southeastern Michigan, and I found the there's two studies that support using restorative practices, and I've worked with parents to ask what's effective for them. I've worked with teens, asked what they found was supportive. So I just wanted to share a couple studies and then share what this study is. So one study is the Transformative Mindset Instructional Design, and that's the study that I founded in my study during my doctorates, was in 2022. And this study talks about how to provide instruction for teens. So I did it providing instruction to parents, and then I adapted this for providing instruction for teens and families. And that would be there's the addiction, and then you make goals together, you come up with relevant interventions, and the teen has some say in this, and you work on the teen's skills. And you collaborate and work with each other. It's not where someone is telling the teen what they have to do, but it's working together with all of the stakeholders to come up with what a plan could be for this teen. And then there's the interaction, so letting them go through life and not like putting them away so they don't have the practice with their stakeholders, but they get to practice it. And then they have their assessment. Everyone, all the stakeholders get to take part in this, and they also get to do some self-assessment. So that's the transformative mindset instructional design adapted to this subject. And then the next would be the theoretical model and the understanding of stages of change. And that is a fairly common theory model already, is the TTM. The first step is pre-contemplation of stopping with the substance abuse. Then there's contemplation. Then they prepare to stop. Then they take action. Then there's the maintenance. And then finally, the adoption of no longer being under the influence of substance. So people have to understand this that's watching the video, that this is not like, even though it's written in a cyclical fashion, it's not necessarily, because they could go forward, backward, jump around. And just because they've adopted this doesn't mean that they might not relapse. So a lot of grace would be needed in this process. So with those two models, we had found during our studies, some interns and we had found that there's a very nice pattern to this using restorative practices that parents had found to be very effective when interviewing them. So we called it the supportive arch, and the pattern for it would be, setting a foundation, adapting that foundation to each teen, giving them guidance, empowering them instead of being that helicopter parent, and mentoring them, and having the community built to support teens using the stakeholders. So this book is on Amazon, and it's available to be purchased, and it is a workbook, so it's step by step. There's a scaffolded process to for not just parents but for families. So this is written so the families can use it as well as the teen, so they can use it together. Each can have their own separate book, or they can have one that they're working with together to make agreements on what that plan could look like. And instead of giving or forcing or ordering that teen to follow this or they're going to get punishment, this is a restorative practice where everyone sits down at the table and makes an agreement, and how they're going to work with this if the teen goes backwards. So I suggest that families use it, try it out, and let me know how it works for you. Have a great night.